Good evening. I welcome you to Strange Nexus, your portal to the realms of the strange, spooky, and unexplained. On tonight's episode, we follow the journey of a group of astronauts on a secret mission to Mars. What mysteries will they unearth?
The anticipation hung in the air like a shroud as I stood with my team in the dimly lit room. We wore our astronaut suits, each of us bearing the emblem of international cooperation, the same emblem that had adorned countless astronauts before us. But today, it was a facade, a carefully constructed lie designed to conceal the true nature of our mission. We were not bound for the International Space Station. Instead, we were destined for a place far more sinister, the Mars colony. I watched my teammates, their faces etched with a mixture of excitement and anxiety, just like mine. Commander Sarah Mitchell, a veteran astronaut with a steely resolve, was giving the final briefings. "The world believes we're going to the ISS," she began, her voice low and conspiratorial. "But we're not. Our mission is a top-secret operation known only to a select few. Our destination is Mars, and our objective is classified." I glanced around the room, meeting the eyes of my fellow astronauts. Dr. David Harris, the mission's biologist, offered a tight-lipped smile of encouragement. Beside him, Lieutenant Mark Ramirez, the mission's engineer, was deep in thought, his brow furrowed in contemplation. Our team was small, but it was a group of specialists handpicked for this covert operation. "Once we reach Mars, we'll be on our own," Commander Mitchell continued. "No communication with Earth, no contact with the outside world. Our orders are clear. Investigate the Mars colony and report back. But remember, we're not the first to go there. The previous mission, they never returned." A chill ran down my spine as I remembered the rumors that had circulated among the astronaut community. Whispers of an ill-fated expedition that had vanished without a trace. A mission shrouded in secrecy, much like our own. But curiosity and a sense of duty had driven us to accept this enigmatic assignment. The journey to Mars felt endless, the walls of the spacecraft closing in on us as we hurtled through the void of space. The monotony of the voyage was broken only by the daily routines and the anticipation of what lay ahead. We ran simulations, reviewed mission data, and tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy. But the truth hung over us like a dark cloud. Finally, the day came when Mars filled the viewport, a red orb hanging in the vast darkness of space. As we approached the planet, the excitement among the crew was palpable. We went through our final checks, preparing for descent. The Mars colony was situated in the sprawling Valles Marineris Canyon system, a place where the red planet's secrets ran deep. The descent was smooth, the thrusters firing in perfect synchronization as we glided toward the Martian surface. The barren landscape stretched out before us, an alien world that had always seemed distant and unreachable. But now, we were here, and the true nature of our mission loomed large. As the spacecraft touched down on the Martian soil, the silence that followed was deafening. The moment had arrived, and we were now on our own, cut off from Earth and left to unravel the mysteries of the Mars colony. Stepping out onto the Martian surface was a surreal experience. The thin atmosphere offered little resistance as I descended the ladder, and the landscape was unlike anything I had ever seen. A desolate, rust-colored wasteland stretched out in every direction, and the jagged cliffs of Valles Marineris loomed in the distance. The Mars colony was only a short distance away, a cluster of domed structures nestled against the canyon walls. But as we approached, a sense of unease settled over us. There was an eerie silence hanging over the colony, broken only by the whispering wind. We entered cautiously, our suit lights casting long shadows on the cold metal walls. The air was stale, and a layer of dust covered everything. It was as though the colony had been abandoned for centuries, not years. "Check for signs of life," Commander Mitchell ordered, her voice crackling over the intercom. We split into pairs, each team exploring different sections of the colony. Dr. Harris and I entered what appeared to be the medical bay, our suit lights revealing rows of empty beds and abandoned medical equipment. It was as if the occupants had left in a hurry, leaving behind all traces of their existence. As we continued to explore, we stumbled upon a room that sent shivers down my spine. It was a control center, filled with monitors and screens displaying data from the Mars surface. But what caught our attention was the large red warning symbol flashing ominously on one of the screens. "Commander, you need to see this," I said, my voice trembling. We had entered a nightmare beyond our wildest imaginations, and the true horrors of the Mars colony were only just beginning to reveal themselves. The ominous warning symbol on the monitor had everyone on edge. Commander Mitchell quickly joined us in the control center, her face etched with concern. "What's going on, Jeremy?" she asked, her eyes darting between the monitors. I tapped the screen, zooming in on the source of the warning. It was a video feed from a surveillance camera positioned outside the colony. The footage showed a group of people, or what remained of them. They were shambling, disheveled figures, their movements erratic and uncoordinated. My heart raced as I recognized the tattered remains of their astronaut suits. They were the previous mission crew, the one that had vanished without a trace. "They never left Mars," I whispered, my voice trembling. Dr. Harris examined the footage closely, his expression growing more horrified with each passing moment. "Look at their eyes," he said. "There's something terribly wrong with them." Indeed, the eyes of the figures in the video were devoid of humanity, replaced by a strange, luminescent glow. It was as if their souls had been extinguished, leaving only empty shells behind. Commander Mitchell clenched her jaw, her determination unwavering. "We need to find out what happened here. Stay vigilant, everyone, and stay together. We're not splitting up again." As we continued to investigate the colony, we encountered more signs of the tragedy that had befallen its previous inhabitants. Abandoned personal belongings, half-eaten meals, and scattered notes filled with frantic scribbles painted a haunting picture. Whatever had happened here had been sudden and chaotic. In one room, we discovered a series of journals, their pages filled with the ramblings of a terrified scientist. It appeared that the colony had been conducting experiments of a highly secretive nature, experiments that went horribly wrong. The scientist's final entry was a chilling revelation. "The darkness has consumed us all. There is no escape. Beware the shadows." Our unease deepened as we read those words. What darkness was the scientist referring to, and what shadows haunted this forsaken place? As we ventured deeper into the colony, a sense of dread settled over us like a suffocating shroud. The corridors grew darker, and our suit lights flickered ominously. Strange, whispering echoes seemed to emanate from the shadows, filling the air with an eerie, otherworldly presence. Lieutenant Ramirez, always the voice of reason, was the first to speak up. "This place is cursed," he muttered, his eyes darting nervously from one shadowy corner to another. Dr. Harris nodded in agreement, his scientific curiosity now overshadowed by fear. "We have to find out what happened here and report back to Earth. But we need to be cautious. We don't know what we're dealing with." Our caution proved to be well-founded as we reached the heart of the colony, a vast, dimly lit chamber filled with bizarre alien technology. In the center of the room stood a colossal, pulsating crystal of unknown origin, casting an eerie crimson glow. The air grew colder, and the oppressive atmosphere thickened. Commander Mitchell raised her hand to her helmet's microphone. "Report in, everyone. What's your status?" Silence greeted her inquiry. Panic gnawed at the edges of my consciousness as I realized we were alone in the heart of this forsaken place. Suddenly, the crystal began to emit a low, resonant hum, and the walls seemed to close in around us. Shadows coalesced into indistinct forms, shifting and twisting like malevolent specters. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the chamber, and I turned to see Dr. Harris writhing in agony. His suit's visor had shattered, and his face contorted in unimaginable torment as his body convulsed. "David!" I yelled, rushing toward him. But before I could reach him, an invisible force sent me hurtling backward. I crashed into the chamber's wall, my vision blurred and my head spinning. Commander Mitchell's voice crackled over the intercom, filled with desperation. "Jeremy, Mark, report!" I tried to respond, but my suit's systems were malfunctioning, and my limbs felt heavy, unresponsive. Lieutenant Ramirez lay motionless on the floor nearby, his eyes wide with terror. The encroaching darkness swallowed us whole, and the horrors of the Mars colony became an inescapable nightmare. Time lost all meaning as I lay incapacitated in the shadowy chamber, my mind trapped in a fog of fear and confusion. The pulsating crimson glow of the alien crystal cast an eerie light on the unconscious forms of my teammates. Commander Mitchell, Dr. Harris, and Lieutenant Ramirez lay motionless, their fates hanging in the balance. Gradually, my faculties returned, and I struggled to my feet, my suit systems slowly rebooting. The chamber was eerily quiet now, the malevolent force that had assaulted us seemingly dormant. It was as if the darkness itself had retreated, biding its time. I rushed to Dr. Harris, who was still convulsing on the ground, his suit's visor shattered. With trembling hands, I managed to activate the emergency seal on his helmet, releasing him from his agonizing torment. But the scientist remained unconscious, his face pale and his breathing shallow. I turned my attention to Lieutenant Ramirez, checking his vital signs. He was alive, but in a deep state of unconsciousness, his suit's systems functioning erratically. Commander Mitchell fared slightly better, her suit's visor intact, but she too was unconscious. We were stranded in the heart of the Mars colony, cut off from Earth and at the mercy of an unknown, malevolent force. It was clear that our mission had taken a nightmarish turn, and the secrets of this place were far more sinister than we could have imagined. Desperation welled up inside me, and I activated my suit's communication system, attempting to establish a connection with the outside world. Static filled my ears and my heart sank as I realized that the interference from the alien crystal had disrupted all communication. I had to find a way to reverse the damage, to save my teammates, and to uncover the truth behind the colony's downfall. But the enigmatic crystal loomed before me, a daunting obstacle standing in the way of my mission. With grim determination, I approached the alien crystal, my gloved hand reaching out to touch its pulsating surface. The instant my fingers made contact, a surge of incomprehensible knowledge flooded my mind. Visions of a civilization long extinct danced before my eyes, a race of beings who had harnessed the power of the crystal for untold purposes. They had delved into the very fabric of reality, seeking to unlock the secrets of the cosmos. But in their reckless pursuit of knowledge, they had inadvertently unleashed a malevolent entity, a sentient darkness that consumed their entire civilization. The survivors, driven mad by fear and despair, had sealed themselves within the colony, hoping to contain the darkness. I recoiled from the crystal, the weight of its revelations heavy upon me. The darkness that had ensnared us was not merely a force of nature, it was a sentient, malevolent intelligence, a cosmic horror beyond human comprehension. Desperate to save my teammates, I knew I had to find a way to counteract the crystal's influence. My mind raced, searching for a solution. I remembered the scientist's warning, beware the shadows. It was as though the shadows themselves were imbued with a malevolent force, a manifestation of the darkness. I set to work, using my suit's systems to generate intense bursts of light, attempting to dispel the encroaching shadows. Slowly, agonizingly, the shadows receded, retreating from my fallen comrades. One by one, I revived them, each of them groggy and disoriented. Commander Mitchell was the last to awaken, her eyes filled with determination. "We need to destroy that crystal," she said, her voice resolute. As a team, we devised a plan to dismantle the crystal and sever its connection to the darkness. Armed with the limited tools at our disposal, we worked tirelessly, struggling against the overwhelming malevolence that emanated from the alien artifact. Hours turned into days as we battled the relentless forces guarding the crystal. The malevolent darkness grew stronger with each passing moment, manifesting itself as grotesque, shadowy apparitions that clawed at our sanity. We fought to hold on to our humanity, our determination unwavering. In our darkest moments, when it seemed that all hope was lost, Dr. Harris made a breakthrough. He discovered that the crystal's power source could be disrupted by a precise application of energy. Lieutenant Ramirez, using his engineering expertise, rigged a makeshift energy disruptor from our spacecraft's power cells. With our backs against the wall and the relentless darkness closing in, we made our final stand. The shadows swirled around us, a nightmarish maelstrom of despair and dread. But we stood united, determined to confront the malevolent entity that had plagued the colony. As Lieutenant Ramirez activated the energy disruptor, a blinding surge of light enveloped the chamber, forcing back the encroaching darkness. The alien crystal let out a deafening shriek, its pulsations growing erratic and unstable. With a final desperate effort, we unleashed the disruptor's full power, directing it at the heart of the crystal. The artifact shattered, its crimson glow extinguished, and the malevolent force howled in agony. As we made our way back to the spacecraft, our footsteps echoing in the silent corridors, a somber sense of accomplishment washed over us. We had faced unspeakable horrors on Mars and emerged victorious, but the scars of our ordeal ran deep. Our journey back to Earth was a solemn one, our mission a secret we could never share with the world. The malevolent entity that had plagued the Mars colony was gone, but its memory would haunt our dreams for the rest of our lives. The truth about what had transpired on Mars would remain hidden, known only to the few who had faced the darkness firsthand. We had carried out our secret mission, and in doing so, we had encountered horrors that defied explanation. As the spacecraft hurtled through the void of space, I couldn't help but wonder what other mysteries lay hidden in the cosmos, waiting to be uncovered by intrepid explorers like us. The universe was a vast, enigmatic expanse, and our journey had only just begun.
This reality never ceases to amaze me. What a tale. Now click subscribe and like this video for more Strange Nexus.